Another weekend of Championship football is about to commence, so let's give our thoughts ahead of all games going on this match week in match week 6 in the Championship. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, do be sure to drop a like and subscribe and make sure that notification bell is on, and so you'll be notified every single time we upload a video. Right, let's predict another round of fixtures for the Championship, the best league in the world. We begin on a Friday night at the Bet365, and there's been a bit of news there recently. Of course, Steven Schumacher joined from Plymouth in, I think it was January, the turn of the year, and of course now he has mutually agreed, I'm pretty sure it was, with Stokecity. It was best that they went in their separate directions for the future, and I believe Stoke have now confirmed a new manager. The name is Norwich backroom staff. He was involved there. I think it's a Palach. I might be getting that completely wrong. Now, I'm just doing that off memory. I believe it is Palach, though, and so no idea. No one has any idea really about him. So we're just gonna have to judge him on what he does here at Stoke, and we'll have a look at him and his side against Hull here on the Friday night. Hull being the visitors, of course, and very unlucky last Friday night not to get anything against Sheffield United, and they are without a win so far this season. I think it comes in this game though. Stoke could easily get the manager bounce, but I've gone Stoke 0, Hull 2. Norwich versus Watford is a classic, and in this one it'll be a tricky game for Norwich. Of course, I just got to see them play my team Swansea. Very unimpressed. But of course, in the summer they got a new manager. That's completely understandable. You know, things take time to gel in. As for Watford, great start to the season. Have started to slip off a little bit now. The draws creeping in. But for me, I think, you know, it'll be a great game. And I've got Norwich to score 1, Watford to win it by scoring 2. 2-1 Watford at Carrow Road. Off to Loftus Road for QPR versus Millwall. This one will be a great game. Two sides which, you know, it's really tricky to judge so far. QPR are probably the favourites for this one, but Millwall haven't really been blown away so far this season. They've been in all the games that I can remember anyway so far this season. And I think this will be a really close game for QPR. Of course, they just got that dramatic late winner, equaliser, even, away at Sheffield Wednesday. While for Millwall, of course, I can't actually quite... I know they did lose to Luton Town, didn't they? 1-0. Thanks to Mengi's goal. And even then, they had the chances to try and get something out of the game. In this one, can't separate them. 1-1 at Loftus Road. Moving on, we go to the Stadium of Light for Sunderland versus Middlesbrough. A bit of a rivalry, if I'm not mistaken, between these two. Of course, Middlesbrough, they just cannot take their chances as of late. And it's cost them a few points recently. Against Sunderland, they have to be on the top of their game. Of course, Sunderland, up until last weekend, had an unbeaten start to the season, winning all their games so far. Of course, Plymouth stood in the way of that record continuing last weekend, and of course upset them by winning 3-2. Now, of course, we're not too sure on Regis Labrute's bounce back ability of Sunderland, so we'll get to see that today for this match week, of course. But against Middlesbrough, who just can't finish their dinner, I think that will come back to hurt them in this game, and I think Sunderland will win, get back to winning ways, 2-1 at home for Sunderland in this one. Moving on, we go to Ashton Gate for Bristol City, hosting Oxford United. Two sides who, you know, on paper, look like Bristol City will have a great season, and I do expect Oxford to be the one struggling right now. But actually, that's sort of flipped so far. Oxford having a great season so far, and Bristol City are in a bit of a rut at the moment after 2 3-0 defeats. I believe they were both away from home now, though, so great for them to get back at home. But in this game, really tricky game. Oxford have been, you know, a very solid side for the teams they've beaten so far this season at home, and they've given good games away at some top teams as well so far this season. In this one, Bristol City to score, but not to get the win. 2-1 Oxford in this one. Moving on, we go to Turf Moor for Burnley versus Portsmouth. Portsmouth just lost 3-0 at the weekend to Westbrom, who are high-flying. And for Burnley, it was a very convincing win against Leeds United, and a great win this early on in the season away at Ellen Road as well. In this one, I've gone for the favourites. Burnley to win 3-0. Portsmouth just got such a tough start to the season, don't they? Up next, we go to Cardiff versus Leeds, and in this one, it's very important to note that both sides will be remembering Sol Bamba, of course, which is, of course, very good to hear from that, but really sad news of his passing at such a young age, of course. So that is definitely a tribute to look out for over the weekend. And in this game, Cardiff against Leeds, tricky one to predict. Cardiff, of course, bottom of the league. So in a way, it's not actually that tricky, is it? Of course, Leeds lost last time, just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. They had some chances. Creativity was there as well. In this one, I think they beat Cardiff 3-0, and Errol Bullock will finally get sacked, because I think if they do lose this one, surely he's gone. And yes, you're expected to probably lose to Leeds with the financial powerhouse that they are, but I mean, surely Cardiff's poor start to the season can't continue, can it? But, you know, Leeds, I think they'll go back to winning ways in this one, winning 3-0 away in South Wales. Off to the CBS for Coventry versus Swansea. Now, you're probably seeing this video on the Thursday or later on before the weekend, but I just started recording this video after full time in the Carabao Cup game between Coventry and Spurs, and Coventry looked really good in that game. Of course, went 1-0 up and just can't hang on to that advantage, and then Spurs, of course, end up winning the game. In this one, really tricky game to predict. However, the Swans have got a great record against Coventry. I don't know how long it stretches back now, but we never lose them. I mean, I'm begging now, I haven't just jinxed it. You know, touch wood, that doesn't change, but, you know, this is going to be a really tough game. Once again, away from home. For me, I'm going to back the Swans for a 2-1 win. Part of me thinks maybe we won't concede. We've got a really good defensive record so far. If we do concede, I think it will only be one. We're looking really solid so far this season. And it's just going forward now. Can we put the ball in the back of the net on more than one occasion? So far this season, we've only done it once. So it needs to be a bit more consistent now. We're getting the ball in the back of the net. And things start to look a lot brighter for the Swans. In this one, Swans to beat Coventry 2-1. Off we go to Luton Town versus Sheffield Wednesday in this one. Luton Town picking up their first win of the season, of course, and Sheffield Wednesday denied the 3 points at a last gasp equaliser against QPR. In this one, tricky one to predict, but I've gone for the Hatters to continue now their winning run and make it 2 games unbeaten. And of course winning this season. The first home win as well, which is always very crucial for any side. I think they get it here at home to Sheffield Wednesday, 2-0 to the Hatters. Off to Bramall Lane for Sheffield United versus Derby. Derby at home solid, away from home not been too convincing so far this season. Sheffield United though at home unbeaten so far this season. And I think they win this one. 1-0 Sheffield United here at Bramall Lane. Moving on, we go to the Hawthorns for West Brom versus Plymouth. Plymouth for that shock result of last match week. They'll be looking to follow that up, of course, this time around. For West Brom, sitting pretty at the top of the Championship. We all know how quick that can change. But in this one, I've got to back them. You know, they've just started the best out of everyone by their top of the league. But no, really impressive stuff from them. I think they win this one comfortably. 2-0. At home. And the final game to predict of match week 6 of the Championship in the 2024-25 season is a bit of a fierce game between Preston and Blackburn. Now in this fixture, Preston do have the upper hand, but so far this season, Blackburn have been a lot more impressive. Of course, remain unbeaten so far. For Preston midweek, it was a great penalty shootout victory over Premier League Fulham in the Carabao Cup. I think it was like 34 penalties in the end. Incredible stuff. I was sitting there watching it, thinking, oh my God, this is never going to end. We're here till Christmas, but no, it finally did end. Of course, 2 ex-Swans goalkeepers in goal for either side. Freddie Woodman for Preston, Stephen Bender for Fulham, of course. In this one, though, really tricky to predict. I think that would be a 1-1 draw at Deepdale for this one. I just cannot see Blackburn's unbeaten start to the season ending here against Preston, who have been a mixed bag so far this season, I think it's fair to say, so far. Well then, guys, they are my predictions for match week 6 in the Championship. We did go on to enjoy. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe as always. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And be sure to have notifications on for the channel so you never, ever miss an upload. Thank you for your incredible support. Life's getting a bit busy at the moment with me starting university and everything. Just hang with me, and hopefully content then should start to flow as usual once again in terms of watch longs and all that. I can't make any promises at the moment, don't know any commitments. It's new to me as well, so I'll let you know as it's happening, people. I guess that's the fun of it. Take care, I'll see you all very soon, and good